Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi everyone, welcome back to the podcast. And if you are new here, hi, my name is Chane, and thank you so much for being here. And whenever you are listening while maybe driving, working, studying, or maybe you are just scrolling and somehow found this episode, I'm really glad you are here. So, I'm not gonna lie, this is probably one of the hardest episodes I've ever recorded. Not because I don't know what to say, but because every word matters. Yeah, whenever we talk about sexual harassment, it's so easy to turn someone's trauma into another headline, another trending topic, another discussion that disappears after 3 days. And I don't want to do that today because this episode isn't really about one case. It's about a pattern we've been seeing for years. And as you know, a few days ago, many of us read another heartbreaking story involving a teacher and a student. The details were horrifying, and honestly, I don't think repeating those details helps anyone. Because here's the thing, the details are different, the pattern isn't. Every time something like this happens, society reacts almost the exact same way. Like, how could this happen? What kind of person would do something like that? The perpetrator deserves the harshest punishment. Yeah, of course, they should be held accountable. But I think we've been asking the wrong question instead of asking, why did this person do it? Maybe we should start asking what kind of environment makes perpetrators believe they can get away with it. Because that is completely different conversations. Um, Here's something that has been on my mind lately. I don't think we are only facing a sexual harassment crisis. I think we are facing an accountability crisis. Bad people have always existed. That's not new. What's dangerous is when systems fail to stop them. Or worse, when system quietly protect them. Dan menurutku ini bagian yang sering banget kita lewatkan. Kayak kita terlalu sibuk mencari siapa pelakunya, sampai kemudian kita itu lupa bertanya, kenapa sih kasus-kasus seperti ini terus muncul di tempat-tempat yang seharusnya paling aman. Let's say di sekolah, di kampus, di tempat kerja, di lembaga keagamaan, bahkan di dalam keluarga itu sendiri. Kalau hampir setiap institusi pernah memiliki kasus serupa, mungkin masalahnya bukan lagi tentang oknum. Mungkin kita perlu mulai mempertanyakan sistemnya. And you know what's interesting? Since we were children, we were taught to respect authority, respect your parents, respect your teachers, respect your seniors, respect your leaders, and honestly, those are good values. But nobody really teach us the other half. Nobody says, if someone in authority makes you uncomfortable, you are allowed to question them. Nobody tells children, your body is never the price you pay for someone's positions. We teach obedience, but we rarely teach boundaries. And sometimes that's exactly where abuse begins. Another thing that really bothers me, people often describe sexual harassment as a moral problem. People just need stronger morals. Maybe, but morality alone has never stopped abuse. Because if morality was enough, why do perpetrators exist inside institutions that spend years teaching morality? Why do these cases happen in schools, in religious communities, in organizations with codes of ethics? Clearly, the problem isn't just morality. It's accountability, it's transparency, it's whether victims feel safe enough to report, and whether institutions are brave enough to act. Power is a strange thing. Power itself isn't evil, but power without accountability is dangerous. Think about it. When your teacher tells you something, when your boss tells you something, when your supervisor, your coach, or someone you deeply respect tells you something, can you really say no as easily as people expect? That's why I don't like it when people ask, Why didn't the victim just refuse? Because, fear changes everything. Fear changes the way people think. Fear changes the way people react. Sometimes survival doesn't look like fighting back. Sometimes survival looks like freezing, staying silent, pretending everything is okay because speaking up feels even more terrifying. Dan ini yang sering gak dipahami banyak orang. Korban itu bukan selalu diam karena mereka lemah, tapi seringkali mereka diam karena mereka tahu konsekuensi setelah berbicara itu bisa jauh lebih berat. Kayak nggak dipercaya, disalahkan, dikucilkan, atau bahkan mereka kehilangan masa depan mereka. And here's another uncomfortable truth. Every time a sexual harassment case goes viral, the internet suddenly becomes a courtroom. People search for screenshots, private message, videos, rumors, old photos. Everyone wants evidence. Very few people ask, what conditions allow this to happen in the first place? Because solving one perpetrator is easier than confronting one broken culture. And that's exactly why the cycle keeps repeating. Maybe this is the sentence I want you to remember from today's episode. Sexual harassment doesn't begin the moment someone crosses another person's physical boundaries. I think it begins much earlier. It begins when authority becomes unquestionable. It begins when institutions protect their reputation before protecting people. Maybe it begins when victims expect they won't be believed. It begins when we teach children to obey without teaching them that they also have the right to say no. So, if you are a teacher listening to this, please remember that education is never just about transferring knowledge, it's about creating safety. And if you are a parent, don't only teach your children to be polite, teach them that respect should never cost them their dignity. And if you are part of an institutions, don't wait until your name becomes tomorrow's headline before building a safe reporting system, because preventions will never go viral, but prevention saves lives. And before I end this episode, I want to leave you with one question. Not how could this happen? We've asked that question too many times. Instead, ask yourself, what kind of culture am I helping create? A culture where people stay silent because they are afraid, or a culture where people know they be protected when they speak, because maybe real change doesn't begin in courtrooms. It begins in classrooms, in offices, in homes, and in conversations like this. And yeah, thank you so much for listening. If this episode stay with you, don't just share it because it's controversial. Share it because conversations like this remind us that protecting people should always matter more than protecting reputations. So, guys, I'm Chane. Take care of yourself, take care of the people around you, and I'll see you in the next episode. Thank you so much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.